Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming on, and the cat is coming on, just to show you how I create a soft covered journal. So this is going to be a boho journal. If you watched my previous video, then you'll know that I've just launched my first digital kit. So this is going to be the journal that I create with that kit, and it's going to be my own special like memento keepsake type of journal. If you could just pop out the way, Indy. Go on, don't. So it's going to be like a wraparound cover, and I've just prepared my signatures so I know how much of a spine and things that I need to create. But obviously with it being quite a soft journal, it doesn't matter if it's like a crocodile mouth or whatever term it is. I think that's what it is, because it can just squash down, can't it? So I've got 3 signatures, and I've just added envelopes and things, so I will take you through the process of decorating those. But I just wanted to give a tutorial on the cover first of all. Now this is an idea that I just come up with. I'd never looked at how to make this type of cover. What you could typically do is you could just put 2 pieces of fabric together to make the cover, but I always think that's just too flimsy. So what I actually do is I put a piece of foam, and this is just foam. Let me get it. You get this from the children's craft section. It's usually with the the felt sheets and stuff like that. I think it's like £1.20 or 99p or something like that. And I actually get the A3 because it's no good having an A4 piece. You can, you know, give yourself 1/4 inch in actual fabric excess around it, but I like the foam to go right to the edge. So what I've done, this is the fabric that I'm using, but I really like the inside, so I'm having the outside of the fabric on the outside and the inside of the fabric on the inside, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so that's going to be my front piece. So I will pin them all down, but what I need to do first of all is I've made this little cluster. So I think I need to see where I want the little cluster to go, because I need to sew the cluster onto the top piece of fabric before I actually sew them both together, don't I? If that makes any sense to anyone. So this is the cluster that I've made, just with some fabrics from a journal kit that I bought. Sorry, where did I get it from? I got the fabric from Beach and Saris on Etsy. Sorry, I had a total mind blank then. So I've created a little cluster there, and I am just going to stick it about there, I think. So I think those colours go quite nicely. So, and I am actually going to use my sewing machine for this. So I'm going to stitch it about there. So all I've done is I've just put some pins in there. So I'm just going to do maybe some crazy stitching. Oh, sorry, I knocked the camera there. So I'm just going to do some crazy stitching, maybe around the whole side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause the video just so you don't have to hear the sewing machine going. I'm just going to use some purple thread, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, so there we go. That's stitched on there. I hope that's focusing. Let me just take the pins out. There. There. So I couldn't really do much of a crazy stitch because it was actually quite hard to stitch onto the chiffons and not have them pucker up, because I didn't want to pucker this up as well. Now, in terms of my closure for this journal, I'm going to use some mustardy coloured seam binding. Again, what I'm going to need to do is check how much I actually need. So this is why I've made the signatures first, because you just don't know how much it's going to wrap around and stuff. Oh, I like that. That is pretty. So I think I doubled it last time. Yeah, so I might do it folded over. So I think I'm going to stitch it there, and then wrap it round, and then I'll tuck it through there to close it off. So How much am I allowing myself? I don't know. So let me just snip it off. I got plenty if it runs out. So yeah, I can wrap that through, and then that'll just get twisted under there to hold it. Yeah. So what I want to do is I actually want to stitch that onto there, so that when I again put the back cover on, you can't see the stitching. So let me do that. Again, I'm just going to pause the camera, but all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and forth. I might do some zigzag stitches and stitch it on the inside there, so bear with me. Okay, so there's that. I think I might just leave those threads loose because I love the threaded look. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to layer it all together. So that's the front, so put that down there, then I'll line it all up and just make sure I'm in frame. That would be useful. Now I hope that I can stretch it maybe to that's the problem, it's not quite square, but I think I'll be able to stretch it once I start pinning it in place. So let me do that. Now the issue is that I think you're going to be able to see that there. Do you see what I mean? So you'll be able to see that line, just because I don't have quite enough fabric. Because it was a tablecloth, you see, and it didn't quite have enough for me to fold it over enough times. So let me just have a look, see my stash, see if there's something that I could put inside that will just lap over. So again, let me just pause the video and I'll get something. Okay, the solution that I come up with, because I didn't have a piece of fabric that was purple or that coordinated, so all I've done is I've just trimmed the foam less than 1/4 of an inch, just so it fits inside, and what I'll do is I'll stitch over so you won't be able to see it. I guess you can get this foam in so many colours that match all of the kids stuff, so I guess if you just bought coordinating foam, then it wouldn't really matter. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to pin it all together. I don't do it very close to the edge, just enough that everything stays in place. In previous videos I've actually used repositional glue and stuff like that, but this is quite thin fabric really, even though it's got the embroidery on, so I don't want any glue to come through. Not with it being my special journal for my to celebrate my new kit. So this is actually the first boho journal that I've done. I've been so looking forward to it, just using all of my fabrics and things. If you've watched, I think I did a video a couple of weeks ago with some sari fabrics that I bought, which I just mentioned. Yeah, so loving that. Now just there is a tiny bit that's hanging out, so I'm just going to trim there. It's just because it's a tablecloth, so it's obviously been used and it's just come out of not being square anymore. So I'll just trim along there just a tiny bit. Okay. And I'll just check on the front as well that, yeah. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just take it to the sewing machine and literally just stitch around the edge. I might do it on the cover side. So if you see here, the bottom is overhanging the cover, so all I'm going to do is just make sure that the cover's nice and flush, because don't forget this is what you're going to see first of all. So just do any fine tuning that you want, because obviously when you've sewn it you can't unsew it. Yep, so I'm happy with that. Again, I'll pause the video just so you don't have to hear the sewing machine going, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here it is. I've stitched all around, so all I'm going to do is just go around and check that there's no gaps. There's a little bit of a gap there. Yeah, so I'm just going to go back and just do that because it's not going to wear thin. I know that I've caught it, but I just haven't gone close enough to the edge, so I will go back and do that. But again, there's a little bit there, so I'll do that. A little bit there where I haven't gone close enough. Again, if you had coordinating foam, if I'd bought purple foam instead of white, then it would have been fine. The only thing that I didn't buy, the only reason why I did buy white is because previously when I've done this, the foam, if it's been a bright colour and the fabric's thin, then it does show through. But you know, if you know what you're going to use, there's no harm in doing that. So let me just sew that up. Rightio, that has done the trick then. So let me put the signatures in just so we can have a rough little see. I need to take the pins out because I know that I'll forget those and I'll leave them in and it'll catch me off guard. Okay, so yeah, I might just need to sew that, but I quite like it hanging. And that will just go round like that. Obviously the signatures aren't in at the moment, so it is a bit higgledy-piggledy, but there we go. Yep, and we'll just secure it like that. So there we go. So that is how I make my soft journal covers, and as you can see, it feels lovely and it feels really squidgy. It's like a quilt, so if you wanted to do some of your own machine stitching on here, you could do it like a quilted design. So I hope this has been useful. Like I said, that's why it wouldn't bend, because of that pin there. So let me just have another look, just because I thought it was a bit stiff on the corner. There we go, that's way better. It's because there was a pin just there, so it wouldn't fold over. So there we go. So as I was saying, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't already checked out my kit, I will leave a link in the description box down below, and do subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be working on this journal and I'll show you as I go along. I'll probably make some embellishment videos as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye.